Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. I'm so glad to be with you once again today. Today's tutorial will be focusing on a 4-corner neckline bustier with peplum sleeves, okay, attached to the sleeve. So right now I've already made my basic bodice, okay. So if you've been following Simbright Fashion Academy YouTube channel, you also notice that all drafting starts from our basic bodies. So right here I have my basic bodies and I have the basic bodies lines. As you can see, I have the shoulder line where all measurement starts. This is my chest line. This is the bust point, my under bust point line, and the waistline or the front length. So here I have a 1-inch dart shared 0.5 on both sides, and you can see I've closed up my bodies, replacing my darts, my armhole, my chest line using my bust divide by 6 plus 1.5 to get my actual chest line. Okay, so if you are not familiar on how to draft your basic bodies, I'll be dropping the link on the basic bodies drafting on the description box below. Please try and check it out so you'll be able to follow up this tutorial accordingly. So now I'm going to build my 4-corner bustier neckline right on this basic bodies drafting. Okay, so now people, we want to start this tutorial. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe. Turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends. Drop your comments on the comment section and your suggestions as well. So now we'll be starting immediately. So looking at the picture on the screen right there is a 4-corner neckline bustier. So I'll be showing you how to go about your 4-corner neckline bustier. So the first thing I would like to do is to get the bust point, that is the bust span measurement. The bust span measurement is your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So you can see that is the bust span, and from there I came down by 1.5 to have my basic dart line. So the next thing I'm going to do now next is to share your shoulder line. Okay, so this is my shoulder seam line of neckline of 3 by 3, which is standard for natural neckline. So I've shared it, and once that is shared, the next thing you are going to do is to connect the neckline to the bust point. Can you see that? So this will help us for our over bust tightening. All right, so the next thing I always like doing is to determine the bust radius. The bust radius is the difference between the bust point and the under bust. So if you take your tape around, you'll be determining where your bust is going to sit on, and this will serve as a guide to making sure you don't expose your bust, okay, or to know where your neckline is going to fall for a perfect fit. So I've made the circle, which is my bust radius, and now we want to talk about the measurement or the depth of the neckline. So from the natural neckline right now, I would like the depth of this neckline. I'm going to take it, depends on how deep you actually want this to be. But I would like you to place your tape on the person you are making this dress for, on her neck, and determine where she wants that particular neckline to be. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll be using 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches for the neckline from the natural neckline. So once that is done, I will come over to the shoulder seam line, and from there I will come in by 3 inches. That is from the armhole line coming into the shoulder. I will go in by 3 inches. So once that is done, like I said, it's a 4-corner. So being 4-corner means we are not going to use any curved ruler for it. We are just using a straight ruler for the construction of this neckline. Okay, So this is it, and that is it, as you can see. Okay, so I also noticed something which I would like to do right now. Okay, if you look at that neckline, you can see that the overbust tightening failed exactly on that neckline. So I would like to tighten the overbust first before we complete the neckline, the shape of the neckline. So I'm going to tighten first, okay, but the point is that we've gotten the depth of this neckline. So let us tighten the overbust first, so it will guide on where to connect to the shoulder. So coming over to this, from this point, I'm taking 0.275, and from here, I'm going in by 0.75 to tighten the bust, okay, the upper bust. So I would go in here like this, I will go in here like this. So once that is done, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to connect the neckline. I'm going to connect the neckline right now on this line because I've determined the bust tightening. This part is 1.5, 0.75 this way, 0.75 with this way. Once we cut off this dart, we'll be having this part of the neckline sitting alone. Okay, so right away I'm going to, all right, so the next thing we want to do before we connect to the 3 inches neckline is this. We are going to extend, we are going to replace what we took off on this upper bust neckline. Okay, the upper bust is 0.75, 0.75. So from here I'm going to extend my line by 0.7 by 1.5, okay, because measuring the dart I have here is 1.5. So from here I'll be replacing 1.5. Can you see? That is the replacement of the upper bust dart, and I'm going to reconnect into my neckline, as you can see, like this. Okay, so once that is done, the next thing we are going to do is to connect this neckline. Okay, so this neckline, I'm going to connect it to this point, because once we cut off the upper bust line, we'll be cutting through this as one whole piece. So the next thing we are going to do, you see this dart replacement, we are also going to replace it at the shoulder once again. So I'm marking 1.5, which is the dart replacement, and I'm going to reconstruct because we are going to take off. So I'm taking off everything I have in here. Okay, so you can see me cancelling it. It's moving all the way with the dart. So what are we going to do next? We are going to replace what we are cutting off here on this line. Can you see? Okay, so if you look at this neckline, it's somehow technical, okay, but this is how to go about it. So from here right now, I've replaced what I took, 1.5 has been replaced in here. So I'm going to continue my dart, my armhole. So I will take to the midpoint like this, as you can see, to this midpoint on a straight course. And then I'm going to blend what I have here into the armhole. Can you see? So that is it, and we are done with the upper part of this. So the next thing we want to do is to talk about the underbust contouring. So for the underbust contouring right now, you need to take the measurement of your underbust very, very firmly. Okay, your underbust has to be taken very firmly. So whatever figure you have, divide it by 4. So for my case here, I'm using 8 3/4, and this is the mark of my 8 3/4. I'm going to measure what I have remaining here. From here to here, I have 1.25. On the part of the center front, this is the center front, I'm going to impute 1.25. And from here, I will impute my 1 inch. So no matter what you have here, even if you have 2 inches, impute 1/4 and the rest on this part for a perfect underbust tightening. So now I'm going to connect my underbust. I'm tightening my underbust. So you see me place my ruler on that point to the where that started, to the bust point. Okay, like this. And I'll flip my ruler like this and connect what I have on these points to here and like this. You can see. So doing that, I've perfectly contoured my underbust. So the next thing I'll do is to connect this to this and connect this to this, and we are done. Okay, so we want to create a bust dart, which is very important. The bust dart is the difference between the front length and the back length. But for this tutorial, we are not drafting any back length. Okay, your back length is quite easy. Your back bodice is very easy. It has no issue. So once you draft it, all you do is to use the front and the back and sew them together. So from the bust point now, I will come down by 2 inches because that is the difference I have for the front length and the back length. So like I said, if you are not familiar with what we are doing here, please visit the basic bodice drafting. Okay, so you will know which one is back length and front length and why we have such differences. So this is 2 inches of my bust dart. I shared it 1 inch, 1 inch, and I came out by 0.5. And then I will connect it to the 0.5 and back to the chest line to accommodate my dart. So right now we are done with this 4-corner bustier. So I'm going to cut what I have in here right now. I'm going to cut my front dart. So I have this panel as F1 and I have this panel as F2. Okay, so our neckline right now, this is the neckline. So if I'm cutting now, I'm cutting my neckline. It's a 4-corner neckline and I'm cutting it on this manner, as you can see right now. Okay, and from here I'm going to cut all of this. So we are fusing this and this together. So let me quickly cut it right now and close up my bust dart, and we are done with this tutorial. So I'm cutting out right now from the waistline. I will cut it into my bust accommodation to my new armhole line which we created. Alright, so I'm going to cut on my center front line, which is my neckline. This is the 4-corner neckline. Okay. Alright, so you can see the 4-corner neckline. So I'll cut through the center front. Okay. So now this is the waist dart. To close up my bust dart, I need to cut my waist dart to the bust point. Can you see? So I've taken away the waist dart because I don't need it. So next is to do what? To close the bust dart. Okay. So I'm going to apply my adhesive to close the bust dart. Okay, so I close up my bust dart, apply my adhesive. So bust dart now is closed. So next is to cut off my shoulder seam line. Okay, and next is to cut off this dart line. Can you see? So I'm cutting it and separating this part. While this part, I'm going to cut it into this line and we take off this. So that is what you have right now. Can you see? So your pattern is exactly like this for your neckline. So all you are going to do is to add your seam allowances. Once you add your seam allowances, we'll be sewing this dart. Can you see? So once you sew the dart right now, what do you have? Your 4-corner neckline. It's as simple as this. Okay, So you have your 4-corner neckline come back to you. All right, so that is it. So coming over to the sleeve is quite a very simple thing. I'll be dropping the link on the how to make a perfect basic sleeve on the description box below. So you go to and watch the how to make a perfect sleeve. Then whichever length you want that sleeve to reach before you attach your flay. The flay there is a circle flay, that is 360. All you are going to do is to measure around the circumference of where you want to attach the flay. Okay, so assuming I measure, let me say I have measured around where I want the flay to be. Okay, here I have 9 inches. All I'm going to do is to divide 9 by 6.28. So whatever thing you have, dividing 9 by 6.28, you'll be left with you have the radius. Okay, so the radius, all you need to do is to cut the radius and attach. Okay, so let me quickly show you what a basic sleeve looks like and how you can make that so the bodice is ready, and you have F1 and F2. All you need to do is to add your seam allowances. So for this particular part, it's going to be cut on fold. Okay, I have my fold sign, while this part will be cut twice. Okay, so this is what you are expected for your bodice drafting. So coming over to the basic sleeve, this is what a basic sleeve looks like. So now looking at what I have here is my basic sleeve. So the elbow length, you see it here. If you need your flay on the 3/4, this is it. If you need your flay on the bicep, this is it. If you need your flay to come between the elbow and the bicep, all you need to do is to find the midpoint and cut out your sleeve. So at the end of the day, you'll be having your sleeve like this. If you need it at between the elbow and the 3/4, you just cut your sleeve like this and attach your flay. So I'm assuming that I will have my flay at the 3/4. So what I will do is to measure my 3/4 length here, and here I have about 6 inches. Okay, so at that 6 inches now, you can either take that measurement here or you can take it here. Okay, so the 6 inches means when you open it, you'll be having like 12 inches. Okay, all right, but here we added some ease, but for the flay, okay, you need it to be a little closer than the ease we added. So here I'm using 10 inches. So when you divide 10 by 6.28, you'll be having about 1.5 or thereabout. So I will demonstrate to you how you are going to cut your flay. Remember, we are dividing 10 by 6.28 for a 360 degrees flay. And the radius here, we have 1.5 or thereabouts. So now, this is what I'm going to do. I have my plain paper, as you can see. I'll just fold, because the radius is at 1.5. I'll fold it the first folding, and I'll fold it again. I'll fold it again, the second folding, and you see. So this is the second folding for a 360 degrees flay. Okay, so this is what I have. So at the part that is on fold like this, I'm going to measure the radius of 1.5, which I will attach to my sleeve. So I'll take my measurement of 1.5. You can see how I'm taking the measurement to form a circle. Can you see? So once the circle radius has been formed, you now choose the length of your flay. Let's say we want to make use of 6 inches. You will keep putting 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches, like that, 6 inches. Okay, so the 6 inches now will now form your flay. So this is the flay sleeve we are going to attach. So I made a pattern for only one. So if you are cutting with this pattern, it means you are going to cut 2 of your flare for the 2 sleeves. And if you are making a step sleeve, all you do is, if this is the full, you are making 2 steps. After cutting with the first step, you measure again the length of your sleeve again. Okay, let's say you want the one on step to be 3.5. So after cutting the first one, you cut off this part, okay, and cut the second one. I believe you understand what I'm trying. So this is the first flare and this is the second. If you are making 2 steps flare for this particular sleeve, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to just cut the first flare. So this is the flare sleeve. So all you are going to do, the way it is, this is how you are going to sew it into. After sewing the size of your sleeve, okay, you insert it below. Okay, you insert it below, open it up and sew round. So at the end of the day, you have your full flare sleeve. You can see that. Okay, so that is it, people, and that is how to go about this. I believe you learned a lot from this tutorial. So thank you very much for coming once again. And if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, and turn on your notification bell as well. Drop your comments on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Okay, so we have our Telegram classes also, where we'll learn more on so many designs, styles, outfits. You can join us on our WhatsApp group. I'll be dropping the link on the description box below, leading you to the Telegram online classes. Okay, so thank you very much and bye for now.